Hi, it's Marlon. So today we're going to be studying lesson 21 and 22, which is the Danish Gambit and the Evans Gambit. So, good. So to start with, we have the Danish Gambit, and Danish Gambit is popular or was popular during 18th century. And it started with E4, E5, and then D4. Similar, not similar, but it's center game. So if pawn takes, again, as what we have in the previous video, queen takes will be the center game. But for now, we're going to be doing this another pawn giving or gambit, which is called the Danish gambit. So if d takes c3, instead of recapturing, but recapturing is also good, it's like a Smith Mora. Here white can take bishop on c4, and if black decided to take another pawn, so white now is down by 2 pawns, but as you can see, he's pressuring f7. This bishop is very active in this diagonal and has a pawn in the center, and black has all pieces of his are on the 8th rank, and the pawns are still on the 7th. So here, let's see some different move that black could play here. So for example, if we played knight on f6, well, we could just push this pawn on e5, and there is like a trick here where black could play knight on g4, offering the knight. So if queen takes, black could take b5, and that's gonna be double attack for the queen and the bishop. So instead of capturing, uh, okay, knight on g5, and here, oh, white could just play this development. I mean, white could just continue the development with knight on c3, and okay, you could capture here, picking up the third pawn, which is could be played by queen e2 by white, and after d6 here, okay, there's an f4, so maybe queen e7, and after queen e7, there's a knight on d5, and as you can see, black now is having a very big problem. It's under attack here, so like a fork or double attack, and if it just go queen e6, it's gonna be big blunder because again there's this knight of 7 attack. So and if we move back and then we just play on f4, so white is very happy. So here, if black didn't play knight on f6, some variations there's like e6, and d6 will be faced with just development knight on f3. So if black played knight f6 or even bishop on g4, wait, bishop on g4, and then we have unpinning here. So there's a take, and after king takes on f7, knight on e5. So now we have this unpinning tactic. And okay, if pawn captures the knight, then we could just win the queen on d8. So here, after like this, I think the king is forced to go back on e8, and then here after knight takes g4, um, okay, maybe black still up by a pawn here, but white is very happy to just castle knight on c3, and then furthermore having good continuation of the game, and black still have this kind of development problem. So go back here. So what if after d6, yeah, d6 knight f3? What about if, for example, he just play knight on f6? So here, white can still play this e5. So if pawn takes, then we have like, can we capture here in f7 and then capture on d8? So let's see this. If take, king can capture back, And if you're thinking like, yeah, I could just capture here, but the problem is there's a check, and okay, maybe this could capture, so maybe bishop, queen on d2, queen on d2, and then capture check, and then like this. Wait, did I forget knight e5? So here after bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and the knight on e5 check, and maybe king on e7, the queen takes d8. So that's a different story now. After king takes, and then there's goes this knight on f7, king e8, and then just capture group. So let's try now a different variation, which is here black could also play this bishop on b4 check. And there's two variations here actually. White could play knight on c3, blocking. So after knight on c3, and a black could just play knight on f6. So here white could just play queen b3 and pressuring this f7 and also attacking this bishop. So maybe queen e7, and after queen e7, and then yeah, maybe knight ge2 could be played here. So white's still good here, on my opinion. So okay, let's go back. But here I think after bishop on b4 check, the best move for white is just to put this king on f1. So now the idea is we want to play queen on b3 and again further attack this hanging piece. And for example, here he just played knight on f6, and then we could just play e5. So if you play, for example, what black else could do here? Queen e7, and then queen e7. Okay, there's a, oh yeah, I forgot. The g7 is under attack. So here I think after king f1, black will be forced to go back on f8. And after here, yeah, maybe queen b3 or maybe queen h5 and or I mean maybe queen d5. A lot of things could be played here by white. So just remember, when you're doing a gambit or when you're sacrificing a pawn, then you have to keep on attacking. I mean, keep on moving, developing your pieces. It's very important because otherwise, your two pawns will just be lost in vain. So here, I think after knight on h6, you could just continue your development here. Knight d2, you have long castle, or even knight f3 and short castle. So at least, as you can see, you have more pieces active than black. But again, you have to attack. Otherwise, black will be able to develop his pieces and he could castle, and then furthermore, maybe you will lose the game. So I think I forgot something else. Okay, here after takes, bishop here. Yeah, I forgot. D5 could be played here also by black. And after D5, there's two options here to take or not to take. I mean, you could just move the bishop like this, but or maybe capture with the pawn. So let's start with capturing by the pawn. So if e takes d5, the problem here is, again, you want to pressure f7, but the pawn is blocking it. So I don't know how, maybe you could just push this later on and then open up, but that's going to be your third pawn to be giving. Quite difficult. So what about if bishop captures? So bishop captures makes sense because again, we want to take on f7, and then if king takes, then we could just capture the queen. But here, black could just play knight on f6, and you're like, what's the difference? So if bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and queen takes d8, as I've shown you earlier, there's a bishop on b4 check, attacking the queen, and I mean discovered attack, Now the king is under on check, so maybe here you have to go back and then take, and maybe black here is fine because uh, okay, now there's no queen and you're down by 2 pawns. Maybe one pawn, yeah. So one, two, yeah, one pawn. So here after knight on f6, black stood better. Or I mean, maybe good, not better. The Danish Gambit. So now let's see another game here. Another opening which is called Evans Gambit. So Evans Gambit is a variation of the Italian opening. So e4, e5, knight on f3, and knight c6. After bishop on c4 and then bishop c5, the main line here is to play c3 and then followed by d4 and then just take the center. But here, white could complicate the position by playing b4, and b4 is again a gambit. You're giving up a pawn, and when you give up a pawn, you have to keep developing for further attack. So here, okay, two pieces can capture. We have bishop and the knight. If knight captures, okay, I don't see anything special here. Maybe white would be better because um, now he captures the pawn he gave on b4 and now he's attacking f7. So knight captures is I'm not sure if there's any good variation for it. I mean, like new theory for it. Okay, what if bishop captures? Or what if it doesn't? For example, if it doesn't, and then okay, you could just wait. Can we just push this pawn and then just capture here? Maybe. So okay, let's just capture. So if takes on b4, so if takes on b4, now white played c3, and there's queen a5. I mean bishop a5 and bishop e7 as a variation. I also saw some players putting this bishop on d6, but bishop on d6 is, I don't know. You're blocking this d pawn, and the only way I think for this bishop to develop is here in b7. So that's a different story. So bishop d6, I don't know this, but bishop on a5 and then bishop on e7. Let's try bishop on e7 and bishop on e7 now is okay. Now we just have to follow knight d4, and if e takes d4, you could just play, for example, recapture back with a knight, or even play queen b3. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait, I forgot knight a5. Knight a5 is attacking the bishop. So here, okay, you could just move the bishop here or here, and I think the best move here is just put this bishop on e2, because if it takes here and then yeah, he captures, as you can see now. White has 2 pawns in the center, knight and bishop can castle, and if black played knight f6, you could just I don't know, can we push this pawn? Or maybe queen a4 because this is hanging. So white is very happy in this position. So what about again here after knight on e5? Uh, okay, we don't want to move the bishop on b3 because knight will just capture. What about bishop on b3? And here, I think the best variation for Evans Gambit is this d6. The position is just equal, and the pawn you gave, or I mean, or sacrifice, the pawn you sacrifice, uh, doesn't really harm anything for black or do any harm on black. Because here after maybe okay, you could just take and then maybe takes here, and then if you're like, what if I capture on e5, and then after knight f6, black could just give up what he won the pawn and then just castle bishop on e6 and it's good. I mean, you could just regroup even uh, black is doing fine. No really special trick here. Okay, now let's go with after again c3. Wait, b4. Okay, here after b4. What if he didn't capture? For example, okay, there's a4 here, and yeah, if you play a5, and then I think we can just play b5, and then we can just capture this after this knight move away. For example, knight on e4 or e7 doesn't matter because next move is just to capture, and I think white is doing good here. So that's why it's forced to take. So after take, again c3, we saw the bishop e7, and the best move for black is to have after bishop on e7, and then d4 takes, and then for example here maybe knight a5 or yeah takes, and then queen b3, sorry, queen b3 attacking f7, and then wait, yeah, queen b3, and then forgot this. Is it king f8 now? Yeah, there's a variation of d3. I remember watching this game. And there's also a variation of knight h6. Nah, knight h6, bishop takes. So I think b3. Wait, I made a mistake here. So here, bishop e7 again. After bishop e7, and then is it d4 now or queen b3? I think d4 first, and then knight a5. Yeah, okay, sorry, forgot. And then after bishop on e2 or bishop on d3, white black, hanging. Bishop on d3, for example, or bishop on e2, that could just play. I'm really sorry for this. Sorry. And black could just give up the pawn and then takes and then takes and then he could just return the pawn he won and he could now equalize the game. No special trick, no special trap. So again here, what if black bishop goes on a5? So e5 now, bishop on e5. White could just play b4 and okay, he could take or he can protect. So let's go for example, what if he takes? If it takes, there is an old variation here of short castling. Sorry, castling, and if black decided to take more pawn, and now after queen on b3, this is gonna be like a big problem for black because okay, now he has to defend maybe queen e7 or queen f6, but queen f6 there's pawn on e4, queen f6, and then there's a pawn on e5, and then he has to move again the queen. Maybe queen g6 and then knight takes c3 as okay, maybe here maybe he has could play knight g e7 and okay, there's a bishop on a3 as well. There's a rook d1. There's a lot of move for white, and I think here bishop a3 is what I remember the best move because after castling and then you could just develop this other rook. And as you can see now, all almost of course, rook fe1 will be played soon, and all pieces for white is active, and black still has this kind of problem for his development. So okay, what about if again bishop queen on b3 and then bishop on okay, queen on b3 and then queen e7 to protect this f7 pawn. White could play your bishop on a3. After bishop on a3, black has to play d6. And okay, you could just continue his development by capturing this. So here now, black could play maybe knight on f6, and because white will have this knight on b5, so knight f6. is making sense here. And for example, if black, okay, wait, a black wants to castle next move. So here you could just pressure this pawn on d6 by pushing this e5. And okay, maybe he will take here on c3, and then after queen takes c3 and maybe knight on e4. So if you capture here on e6, you can capture the queen and then you can capture, and I think here white's still good, and I mean maybe doing better because he just developed two knights and you have two bishops knight and there's already a pawn at the seventh rank. You also have you're gonna be also having an open file, which is very good. I don't know if someone played or has a game like this. Crazy. So here, after pawn on e5, yeah, takes and then takes. Mm, yeah, knight e4 is the best move because he cannot capture and he has to go away. Knight e4. So okay, let's see now another position here. Okay, what if? Okay, here. Okay, again, let's go back. So here b4, bishop takes, e3, and then bishop on e5. Any other variation that I haven't mentioned here. So again here, what about after d4? And then for example here, oh now I remember. Black could play here d5, and a d5 is just returning the pawn. So if e takes d5 and then is it d5 right? Let me just try to remember this. And then d4, can he play d5 or knight of 6? At d5 I think. So d5 is gonna be like, okay, I could just capture, and then the knight has to move again. Maybe here, I don't know. Yeah, maybe knight takes d4, and then if he captures here, takes, and then here I think he could just play. Um, can he play knight f6 here? Because if knight f6 is played, and then there's a bishop on e3, and now, yeah, black cannot castle anymore. But okay, maybe he has to regroup his bishop. Sorry, he has to regroup his bishop and then play c5, but that's gonna be taking a lot of moves. So what else? e5. What else a possible move here? Okay, take, and then yeah, normally you could just castle or even queen b3 as the best move for white. And again, you're down by a pawn, but you have a very good continuation here. King e7 and then bishop on e3. That's it for today. If you want further more studying about this opening, okay, there's a lot in internet. You can just Google it and watch on YouTube. And if you want to know, I mean, if you want to experience this, then you can just play online or even on the board and try this out. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you learned something at least. You do have a great day. Bye, guys.